What's up, Everyday Blades? Man, got a great knife company and a great knife to bring to you today. I know I say that a lot, but I mean it. When I say it, I mean it. This is my first venture into Shirogorov, and I am blown away. I've had this thing on my list for, oh man, probably over a year. And every time it was time to pull the trigger, I either found something else or, just wasn't into it. Or one time I was actually, pretty close to working a trade, and I was doing some research on them and found out they had loose bearings in them. I was like, I just don't know. I don't want a knife with loose bearings in it. Little did I know, right? Those of you know about Shirogorov know that was, it was dumb of me, because those loose bearings work phenomenal. And this is the single row bearing system. This is not even the multi-row bearing system. So Shirogorov is a rabbit hole for a knife collector. They have knives. They even come out with a knife recently, and I say only $600 and change, but for Shirogorov, that is only $600 and change. That's a great price for any Shirogorov. It's the Ursus line. I purchased it for review. I got it after I got this one, which was the mistake. Jim Skelton's got a great review out on it. I actually sent it to him and let him review it, and traded another knife for him. I didn't review it because after having this knife, it just didn't do anything for me. It was a step down from this knife. And rightfully so, because this is a $1,100 knife and that's a $600 knife. But some of the things that immediately got me with this knife, one was the action. Oh, those bearings. You can bring me loose bearings all day long when you have an action like that. The blade finish, excuse me, the blade finish. When you see this in pictures, it just looks like a, like a rough bead blast. Nothing special. Oh, is it ever special? The feeling of that blade is like the smoothest mirror you've ever felt. It's just satisfying. I'm really big into blade finishes. The fact that it's a flipper. Okay, still, I'm growing more and more towards the flippers, right? I get it. It's just, I feel kind of flippered out, but another thing that attracted me is the size of this knife. This is not small, even though I love Holt Spectre. It's a little bit small, right? And in pictures, like, well, it don't look that much different. It's big time different in your hand. It's a beefy knife. This is a high-end knife that's made to use. I wouldn't say be out there batoning with it, but this is an everyday awesome knife. I love everything about this knife. Spoiler alert, I don't have anything negative to say about this knife other than they're super hard to get, especially if there's a certain variant. I got very lucky, and one of our admins in the group told me what to get, right? Because as a new guy to Shirogorov, I have no idea. They all look the same in pictures. He told me to get this knife, and I found it. Man, he sure did me a favor. Spencer, he's a big Shirogorov guy. He has some pretty amazing ones. But yeah, I've been just overly pleased with this knife. Let's look at some size comparisons. I'll put the Grimsmo Norseman out there. I think a lot of people know that knife. Phenomenal knife. I already had the Holt Spectre out there. Let's do some regular size knives. I got chewed on a few months back about not having any production knives in here. Well, there you go. That's the bug out. Don't get any more production than that. Even though it's a 20 CV version, it's still a bug out. How about a Spyderco Delica? I mean, come on. Can't get any more production than that. And we'll throw one more for good measure. Guess you could call this production Spyderco Drunken. That belongs in a class all of its own, but we've already talked about that. Another knife that's similar to this, well, two knives that are similar to this. One I've already had up here, the Holt Spectre. As far as like size and kind of feel, they're all like that kind of knife to me. They're all flippers. They're all, you know, similar in weight. The Shirogorov's a little heavier than both of these, but I kind of put them in the same class. I put this one above those two, believe it or not. I'm not joking. I really love this knife. Let me grab a ruler. We'll do some measuring. So it's definitely a substantial knife. So we're just under 4 inches on the blade. Cutting surface about 4 1/8. And then tip to tail about 5 inches on the scales. This knife is substantial. It feels amazing in your hand because it has that girth, and I have big hands, so it fills my hands out. But it's not too big. It's nowhere near too big, but it's right in that sweet spot. These are, you know, these knives are perfect. They fit great. They're a little bit small for me, right? I love them. They're not going anywhere. I love them, but they're a little bit small. This one is me. I didn't know it, but I'm a Shirogorov guy. Now I'm looking for an F95R with, you know, multi-roll bearing systems, and I think it's even the same price as this one. It's just an upgrade. They didn't even raise the price, so that'll be my next purchase. But anyway, let's check the weight. Weight's very important, and we got a awesome Freon scale. I love this thing. It is unbelievably accurate. 4.5 ounces for a 4-inch blade knife. Come on, can't beat it. Listen to that action. See how smooth it is? Freaking great. And the sound of that thing. Listen to it and put it by the mic. Just sounds good. Perfect. They hit it out of the park. Shirogorov F95 NL. NL for inlay. They retail for $1,095. I have no idea what you can get them on the secondary for. I'm assuming maybe $800 for a light user. That's what I would guess. I don't remember what I paid for this one. Does have proprietary hardware. They do sell a very expensive tool to go with it. I made one. Works very well. You know, it's just like a slotted screwdriver, but you want something that fills up that entire cavity so you don't have any marring or anything like that. But anyway, I'm a super fan. Shirogorov, win-win. Guys, thanks for watching. God bless you and your families. Say a prayer for our country. Have a Merry Christmas. Good night.